My name is Jessica Couch. I'm a fashion and technology expert, and I go to conferences and do research so that you don't have to. It is officially football season, and whether or not you're a sports fan, I'm sure you're going to see the sports pandemonium take over everywhere. And that is the beauty of sports. So what does that have to do with fashion technology? Well, if you have been paying attention, I've been trying to tell you that the menage a trois between sports, fashion, and technology is going to create new experiences and new commerce that is much needed. Because right now, fashion is a little boring, and capturing the right audience with fashion has been a little difficult. Now, if you grew up in the time that I grew up, fashion magazines were the prime place to see advertisements and figure out what's the latest and greatest. But magazines are basically no more. Blogs are iffy, and people don't really care for blogs and bloggers anymore. Influencers have been found to kind of be a sham, and so everyone has turned their attention to sports because it's fresh, it's new, and it's consistent. Now, we saw this last year with all the tonal walk pictures where everyone wanted to know what their favorite basketball players are going to wear in the tunnel and their favorite football players and so on and so forth. And whether or not people actually made purchases around this, it was actually very entertaining. But it let us know that the eyes that are on sports are also shifting for the fashion customer, which means if you're a brand or retailer, those type of partnerships and getting your products in front of these super fans are going to be so important. You may have heard me talk about super fans in the video that I did about concert and merch and all of that stuff. The same thing applies to sports, if not even more. So I attended a couple football games, and the number one things that I noticed is that fans go all out to wear the proper attire for their teams. Like, duh. Like, since I was in Kyle Field in Texas, and over 107,000 people showed up in maroon and white. And maroon isn't a typical color that you could find at any day. So you know that they're getting these products probably locally from the student stores or wherever just to support their brands. Now imagine if 107,000 people got to interact with your products in some way. Now let's take the US Open. This time of year is one of my favorites because yes, it's right before Fashion Week, and Fashion Week is kind of exciting sometimes. Importantly, this is the time of year where we get to see Black women of all shapes and sizes on a court, swinging a racket, kicking ass, looking great, and wearing athleisure. And for someone like myself, it is the perfect entertainment for me, and it's a place where we get to see beautiful women show up in all types of fashion, and it's athleisure, 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 athleisure. What could be better? But what was even more interesting this year is that Tiffany's decided to give us a little bit of fashion tech, a little bit of technology and what they were doing, and it turned out so great. Now, since about 1987, Tiffany's has been commissioned to create the trophies at the US Open, which is normal. But this year, they also incorporated some AR and some AI so that people could take photos of themselves as champions, which is really dope. But they also had an activation where they allowed fans to swing a diamond encrusted AR racket there. That was obviously Tiffany's branded. Now, things like this are really dope. Obviously, they're not selling jewelry directly because that's cheap. You don't want to be shoving your product into your customer's face at a game or an event. But it's the fact that they were able to show up in a way that was luxurious, that was a multi-sensory engagement, and that gave people something to do that was super interesting. And I think we're going to see more and more and more of this. Now, the combination of fashion, technology, and sports is going to be right on time because nothing on TV garners more views than sports right now. And so while the world is watching your favorite athletes do whatever it is they're going to do, whether it's college or professional, it's going to be a time where brands are going to have to shift and get really creative about capturing these audiences in an authentic way. And yes, I think technology is the best way to do that. And yes, I think NFC and all sorts of cool opportunities are going to make the difference for brands who want to keep creating content that their customers and fans can come back to over and over and over again while incentivizing them to buy more products. So if you don't believe me, just watch. I'm always right about these things. You can go back and watch my past videos, but I'm so excited about how fashion technology is going to show up with sports this year. I'm just waiting for the FIFA World Cup so that we can see all of the cool things that are going to happen where the tech is going to be displayed and the super fans are going to go crazy. So let me know your thoughts about what you saw, what you want to see, and how you think fashion technology is going to show up. Thanks.